As you listen, or perhaps you just let these words drift through you, like the wind that carries away old leaves, something inside begins to awaken. Maybe you already know, or maybe you're just beginning to realise that you're worthy. Not because you must prove anything, but because you exist, and existence itself is proof of worth. You've always known this, haven't you, deep inside, like an old forgotten melody, that the moment you hear it, you remember every note. You remember the way you used to move effortlessly, before unnecessary rules were stacked upon you. Rules you didn't choose. And as you begin to notice that, you might also begin to feel how easy it is to release them. Because you're not those rules. You're not the limits someone else placed upon you. You're the sky, and the rules, they're just clouds passing through. Have you ever tried to catch a cloud? The more you reach, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you just watch it, it dissolves on its own. And as those old thoughts dissolve, a new space opens. And in that space, you can now see your desires, your needs, your passions. They're not just allowed, they're necessary. Just like a river must flow. Just like the wind must move. You are designed to move towards what calls to you. The very fact that you want it means it belongs to you. And there was a time, wasn't there? A time when thinking too much, when chasing thoughts faster and faster, made you feel like you were getting somewhere, until you realised you were just running on a treadmill, moving but not arriving. And then something happened, didn't it? You paused, you breathed, and in that stillness you discovered everything comes to you so much faster when you stop chasing. And so now, as you listen, as you absorb, as you allow, a funny thing happens. Your mind, once racing, now sharpens. Your focus, once scattered, now aligns. Because the more you let go, the further you go. And maybe you've noticed how, when people truly believe something, they change reality around them. Like those rare individuals who walk into a room and everyone feels it. They don't chase approval. They don't second guess themselves. They simply are. Their certainty spreads like ripples on water, reshaping the world around them. And as you hold on to your own reality, as you commit fully to your own truth, watch how others begin to question theirs. The more you believe in yourself, the more they begin to wonder if maybe, just maybe, you're right. And when you think about it, isn't it interesting how easy it is now? How natural, how freeing. Because the moment you stop fighting yourself, the world stops fighting you. And you can feel it now, can't you? And you might even begin to wonder how much of what you once believed was ever truly yours. Like an old coat you put on without thinking. Because someone handed it to you. Because someone told you it was yours. But was it really? And it's interesting, isn't it? And now, as you notice the weight of it, you realise you never needed it. Because there was a time before. A time when you moved freely. Before the rules. Before the limits. Before you ever learned to hesitate. Before you ever questioned whether you were worthy. And the more you think about that, the more something inside you shifts. Because if there was a time before, then there's a time after. And that time is now. Because a belief, it's just a door. Some people lock theirs and lose the key. Others leave theirs wide open, letting in anything, even what doesn't belong. But you're beginning to notice that you hold the key, that you can unlock any door, walk through, and close it behind you. And as you do, you leave behind the old rules that were never really yours. You leave behind the fear of speaking, because your voice is meant to be heard. You leave behind the hesitation, because your desires are meant to be followed. And the moment you step through that door, something clicks into place. A knowing, a certainty, a deep, undeniable truth. You're worthy, because how could you not be? Who decided you weren't? And isn't it strange how when you really look at it, those old doubts, they never truly belong to you. They were placed there, spoken by someone else, absorbed before you knew better. But you know better now. And because you know better, you do better. You move differently, you breathe differently, you see differently. And maybe you've noticed how the more you let go, the further you go. How the more you release, the lighter you feel. How the moment you stop fighting yourself, the world stops fighting you. Because people, they don't remember the words that you say, do they? They remember the way you make them feel. And now, as you step fully into yourself, as you own your space, your desires, your needs, your truth, you radiate something new, something magnetic, something undeniable. And isn't it fascinating how effortlessly this change is happening? Because it's already happening, isn't it? And as you notice that now, as you feel it now, as you own it now, you can just let it sink in. Because this is who you are now, and who you're always meant to be.